Sorry, Avatar The Last Airbender fans, but Legend of Korra is a better series. What? So I was scrolling through my newsfeed this morning and I was recommended this article because it was about Avatar The Last Airbender. And then I looked at the title, and then I got out of bed and I was like, I don't do these kind of videos, but I'm going to. So let's talk about this article. I don't know who this rich knight guy is, but there is something seriously wrong with this man if he thinks that Legend of Korra is in any way better than Avatar The Last Airbender. I thought, since I've recently watched all of Avatar The Last Airbender, that it'd be appropriate for me to talk about this. I'm pretty up to date on everything, and I love Avatar The Last Airbender so much. Also, if you'd like to watch the video where me and my friends binge every single episode of Avatar The Last Airbender in one sitting, please go click at the little card in the corner. Thank you. So let's take a journey through this article on cinemablend.com and see if there is any shred of evidence to support this guy's claim. He starts off by saying, look, I love Avatar The Last Airbender with all my heart and soul. As do I, my friend. I've seen all 3 seasons, bought every themed Funko Pop. Weird flex, but okay. And have read all the comics and even the novel. Okay, so done more than I have. Then you should love Avatar The Last Airbender so much more than Legend of Korra, right? Hell, I'm even one of the few people who will defend the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie. Now, whoa! Here's the issue with this dude. I'm seeing it now. Because Avatar The Last Airbender fans hate the movie. It is an atrocity.
The monks named me Ang.
Let's continue. But with all thus said, I'm sorry, but The Legend of Korra is still the better series of the two. And I already know what you're going to say. You're going to say that The Legend of Korra doesn't have the heart and humor that Avatar has. You're correct. Or the characters. God, Bolin is not Sokka, no matter how hard the creators tried to make him the comic relief, and I'll agree with you. Even so, I'll still die on the hill for The Legend of Korra. Okay, so, still seems like he's more on the side of Avatar, or The Last Airbender than Korra, but we'll see what happens. The stakes are much higher on The Legend of Korra. True, Avatar was much more of a personal show, and characters like Toph and Iroh have much better internal struggles than the characters in The Legend of Korra. But when you spend whole episodes considering rescuing Appa, then you're kind of on the low-end scale when it comes to stakes. That's not to say that stuff didn't get real on Avatar, as anytime Aang went into the Avatar state, I held my breath. But in a long run, you never really felt like things wouldn't turn out alright for our heroes. Alright, I see where you're coming from. However, I will say that having internal character struggles and whole episodes devoted to a single character doesn't mean that the show is bad. Episodes devoted to each character give the show some more depth. It helps us better understand those characters and their motivations. That whole episode about Appa really shows us that he is a character in the show and not just an animal. I didn't see any episode in Legend of Korra where I saw that polar bear as a character. That thing's just a glorified dog. 'Cause it's a dog. Appa is a character in the show that has motivations, development, and relationships with other characters. This was very different from The Legend of Korra, where the stakes are always sky high. The first villain, Ammon, was a great example of this scene, but anytime he was present, there was always a looming doom to him that was never matched on Avatar. Alright, that does not say anything about the quality of the show. Or what about when Korra lost her connection with all the past avatars? The ramifications of that were and are huge, and I tense up just thinking about it. That's why I feel The Legend of Korra has much higher stakes than The Last Airbender. Just because a show has higher stakes does not mean that it's a better show. Take, for instance, I don't know, Lost and Supergirl. Okay, and it's an objective fact that Supergirl's a bad show, and that Lost is an incredible show. But Supergirl has higher stakes, so if we're going off this guy's logic, then that means Supergirl's a better show. But that is not the case, because Lost has better writing, better character development, better characters overall, a better story, and is a better show. Supergirl is a piece of political garbage. I think the action is much better on The Legend of Korra. I always really liked how the animation looked when it came to bending on Avatar, but the action was rarely awe-inspiring. Two words. Zuko Azula. This is another reason why I kind of dig the movie, since the action was utterly epic at times. You're telling me that this is more epic than this? Let's move on. The world building is superior on The Legend of Korra. Ba Sing Se is awesome. The Fire Nation is awesome. In fact, all the different nations in Avatar are amazing, but I much prefer the steampunk aesthetic of The Legend of Korra. Okay, I will give this to Korra. It does a great job building out the overarching world that the story takes place in. It feels so much more alive than Avatar, but that's kind of the reason Avatar exists, is because in Avatar, the reason the world feels so dull is because all of the magic and everything has been taken from bending by the Fire Nation. The world has become dull and stagnated because this evil has crept into the world and is not letting it move forward. Once that has been wiped out, it is free to expand and grow. And Legend of Korra shows that immensely and does a great job showing that. So I'll give it to them with the world building. The LGBTQ factor. It's people like this that enjoy Supergirl more than Lost. Let's wrap things up by letting me explain why Avatar is a better show than Legend of Korra. Characters. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, we get all of our characters within the first few episodes. Those are the only characters we should care about throughout the show. What does it do with these characters? It builds these characters over 3 seasons. The show knew what it was going to do from the very start. It knew where these characters were going to be by the end of the 3rd season. It pulled that off so fantastically, and that is why it is considered one of the best shows of all time. Legend of Korra was created because Nickelodeon wanted a sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then they figured out what they were going to do along the way. It is because of the writing, the character development, the story, the heart, and the just incredible emotion that the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender were able to capture in each character. They built out each character as a separate person that had their own values, their own motives, and they did it fantastically. They created one of the best shows ever, and it shows. And no sequel, especially not Legend of Korra, could ever live up to that. Who cares if the stakes are higher in Legend of Korra? The heart is not there. And the heart is what matters to the show. And that's what Legend of Korra is missing.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow, like fragile tiny shells drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy, come marching home. Brave soldier boy comes marching home.
Now, I'm probably a snowflake in this situation. I'm probably like one of the only people that I'm probably one of the only people that disagree with this. So let's just look at the poll that they have here. I'm just going to click which do you think is better? I think Avatar: The Last Airbender. Vote, and let's see what the results are. Well, I think it speaks for itself. Go eat some beans, y'all.